Let's give everybody a little bit of a time to get in here. All right. Well, that gave me a little bit more time to get in tune and grab a drink of water and all that fun stuff. Took a little bit to get that to work this week, but all right. Well, it's Rise of the Five Strings episode 2, and I thought that I would go back to some of my roots. And so this afternoon I started messing around with this fiddle, and I tuned it in the old cross tuning that Uncle Mike Carr taught me how to play in back, oh gosh, about 16 years ago now. So this is how some of the songs that I normally fiddle would have sounded when I was learning them in that style. It's a little bit different, and I'll explain it. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a fiddle lesson for everybody tonight. So here we go. This is Cluck Old Hen. So I'll explain a little bit. This is kind of your weekly fiddle lesson. So of course this is Rise of the Five Strings, so I have a 5th string on my fiddle. But instead of a normal fiddle being tuned high to low, E, A, D, G, I have this one tuned D, G, then I have another set of strings tuned to the same notes but an octave below. So I have D and G, And then I have a low C normally on a fiddle. I have tuned up a whole step to a D. That gives you a lot of range to do like voices like. So you can kind of move those voices around a little bit, and it's just pretty cool to me. I like it a lot. I don't normally play shows in this tuning because I do so much material in standard, and then up until recently I didn't have two fiddles to really go out and perform with. But here in studio it doesn't matter. I don't have to have pickups and all that fun stuff. So I've got, of course, my trusty standard tune 5-string there in the corner. You can see by the lava lamp, keeping us warm tonight. Anyway, how's everyone doing? I hope you're well. We've had some pretty nice weather this week, if I do say so myself. And, you know, I'm just really excited to be able to take the dogs out and go to the park and not freeze. And all that fun stuff. So, where's everybody tuning in from? We've got pretty good sized crowd for my draw on here. Well, everybody's pretty quiet in the chat tonight. Alright, I'll just play. And forgive me, I did not have the chance to tune this banjo before we got started. I was wrangling up my cup of tea, which is all the way over there on the desk. Anyway. Shoes you hear so much about, worn down here, soon wear 'em out. Take 'em up yonder foot, I put on my robes, gonna put on my golden shoes. And I'll rise when the rooster crows, rise when the rooster crows. I'm going back south where the sun shines hot, way down where the sugar cane grows. Let old Satan try to fool you, for the gates be closed. You can't get through with a long white robe and white socks too. Gonna put on my golden shoes. Gonna rise when the rooster crows, rise when the rooster crows. I'm going back south where the sun shines hot, way down where the sugar cane grows. We'll have cider all through the fall. We said I was going to the ball where the duck chews tobacco and the goose drinks wine. The old hen cackles and the rooster keeps time. And I'll rise when the rooster crows, rise when the rooster crows. I'm going back south where the sun shines hot, way down where the sugar cane grows. Alrighty, Kevin. Yeah, Potsdam, New York area. Welcome to the stream tonight. I think you're the first New Yorker to tune into one of these. Hi, Mom. I see you're in the chat. There's usually a few folks that are lurking that never do talk here, but I usually get comments and reports from them the morning or weekend after or something like that. Last week's stream exceeded expectation. It got about 3 times the views that it was projected to by the algorithm. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And if you would, please hit the subscribe button for me. I don't know why my buttons aren't working tonight. They usually are. But we are trying to grow the channel over here. We've had pretty good growth this last month, and I'm trying to keep the momentum going, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, because that'll unlock a whole bunch of options to tell people about the streams throughout the week and all kinds of fun stuff. So anyway, I won't bore everybody too much with crass commercial messaging. This is sort of an autobiographical song that I wrote a few years ago about being from Cincinnati and other things. Well, born on a summer's eve, one warm day in June, near the bend in the river and the cool green hills, I have heard the steamboat whistle, felt the rumble of a train, the ringing of a hammer and the song of wood and steel. Oldest things I can remember were the sound of Dad's guitar, Grandpa's mandolin, and the songs that we would sing. I have heard the steamboat whistle, felt the rumble of a train, the ringing of a hammer, and the song of wood and steel. Well, a young man goes to college and another goes to work. One dreams he's a rock star, the other makes it so. I have heard the steamboat whistle, felt the rumble of a train, the ringing of a hammer, and the song of wood and steel. Seems the poor man loves his family, the rich man loves his toys. I am my father's son, there's a song that I must sing. I have heard the steamboat whistle, felt the rumble of a train, the ringing of a hammer, and the song of wood and steel. Now the highways wind before me like a never-ending dream. The rhythm of the engine is the wind beneath my wings. I have heard the steamboat whistle, felt the rumble of a train, the ringing of a hammer, and the song of wood and steel. All right, how's everyone doing tonight? Lisa, welcome. Frank, looks like you're here. Kevin, it sounds like you'd be pretty grateful to have the heat on tonight, I suppose. It's definitely balmy weather, what you're talking about. Everything sound all right? Please let me know if I need to make any adjustments on my end. I've been experimenting with some different stuff in the back end, and trying to kind of find something that works a little bit better. And tonight I just felt like standing up and playing. I've been sitting on the bar stool in these live streams for most of them, and I thought since I was going to focus on playing a lot of fiddle tonight, I thought it'd be a little easier to do some standing. So Kevin, I am curious, since I don't recognize your name in like my Facebook friends feed or anything like that, I'm just kind of curious where you found this stream from. It's always fun to see where folks are discovering my music and what I have going on. So, what should I do? Should I do kind of a slower piece, or I don't know a lot of fast fiddle tunes, especially when I don't have a rhythm section behind me. Should I do an old spiritual? Let's do, this is a tune called the Minstrel Boy, and then I'll kind of work that into something else here. So you found my video from the demonstration of that was I think a '76 Takamine I owned a while back. Yeah, I missed that guitar. One almost identical to it popped up on Facebook Marketplace the other day, and I was kind of surprised. I only had that for a very short time. That one got away from me to pay some utility bills one winter, but that was an excellent guitar. If you have one of those, Kevin, you've got a very fine instrument. Speaking of fine instruments, this is my Banjo Cello. This was made for me by Mr. Brian Carver out of Kokomo, Indiana. I really like it a lot, and had it in a old sawmill tuning for composition I was writing last night. It's not quite finished. Hey Brian, speak of the devil. Scared to play it, it needs work. Well, I don't know exactly where Potsdam area is in relation to some other places, but I know New York has some of the finest repair people in the world that live right there, so I'm sure you could get that banjo, or, well, I say banjo, guitar worked on. I have banjo on the brain. I need to adjust my headphones mix though, because I can just barely hear. Alright, banjo works. This is a tune I wrote a long time ago. And I kind of wrote it to be a sing-along song, and I know doing these live streams that's really hard to do. Sing along with the audience that I'm just relating through the camera with, but I like the story of this one anyway. Well, lay that hammer down, boy, turn that plowshare round. Can't you see the sun is going down? Well, fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my darling, fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my lady. Well, it's up in the morning at the break of day, tending to the fire, whistling this song. Well, fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my darling, fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my lady. Around the year 2000, I got to meet the late great Mr. Phillip Simmons, one of the most prolific blacksmiths to ever work in the Charleston ironworking industry. He repaired and restored a lot of the historic gates and archways and various fences that were historical icons. He was one of the greatest blacksmiths to ever live, and his work was absolutely incredible. He was about 94 when I met him. And I'll never forget, I got a chance to go to his workshop and listen to the ringing of his anvil. And of course, I bought a signed copy of his book, which I still cherish today. And one of the things that was in the book that I was really impressed with was how Phillip started out just this amazing iron worker, and he adapted and he changed, he survived. There's a story in his book about the Iceman who brought his horses to be shod one more time. He said, "Mr. Simmons, I'm not going to be bringing my horses for shoes no more. Next week I'm getting me a new ice delivery truck. And it runs on gasoline. I won't have to pay you to shoe my horses." Phillip just kind of grinned. He said, "All right." Well, the ice delivery man got himself a delivery truck, and he set the horses out to pasture shows, so to speak. But he came back to Phillip. He said, "You know, there's no hook on the side for me to hang my ice tongs, and there's no shelving for me to keep everything organized. If I take off around a corner, this truck just has everything fly away. So would you fabricate me some shelving and maybe put a hook on the side for my ice tongs and do some other customization?" There, the mighty blacksmith became the first person to do aftermarket automobile modifications. Well, fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my darling, fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my lady. Well, years passed. Phillip developed quite the career working on all those historic pieces. A piece of his work actually hangs in the Smithsonian. In 2009, I got to see it. At some time in all of this, another blacksmith was opening up his shop for the morning, opening the overhead doors and turning on the big floor fans to keep everybody cool. A couple of gentlemen showed up in suits and ties. Now, for a blacksmith, usually when somebody shows up in a suit and a tie, that probably means they're from the government. And it probably means you owe back taxes. Or you're about to go testify and say, "May the defendant please rise," somewhere. But these particular guys showed up carrying clipboards. Shows how long ago this was. Slide rules. And they talked to the blacksmith. They said, we're trying to figure out this system for a grid work, a metal grid work that would go into outer space. It would be the frame for what we would make the satellite system on. But we need someone who understands how steel expands and contracts due to heat and friction and pressure. Well, the blacksmith was happy to oblige. He was an expert in his field. He started working with the folks at NASA. And the blacksmith once again helped innovate and create the framework for what we still have flying over our heads today. Well, fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my darling, fly around my pretty little miss, fly around my lady. For some people from the city, spreading around the news, the auto car is a-comin', boy, it's a sure sign of the times. Well, when I wrote this song, I knew I had something kind of fun and hopefully timeless that people could sing along with. And I hope folks are catching that story and catching the chorus and singing along at home. It got me to thinking, though, that the trades never go out of style. They just innovate. They change. Just like making a good home-cooked meal will never be replaced by fast food. Just like a great song played on an acoustic instrument never really goes away, never gets replaced by a computer or a drum machine. Just like a well-cut piece of steel, a well-sculpted piece of stone, there's some things that are just inherently embedded into the human DNA. The last year now we've had this COVID scare and all the lockdowns and everything that's gone on like that. And a lot of musicians like myself, we've had to figure out how to express ourselves in different mediums. I've been working on YouTube, and I've had friends that have done much more elaborate virtual events. I've had some friends that have made isolation albums, remote collaborations with people across the world through the internet. I think it's really amazing how resilient artistry is. And how some of it just will never go out of style. Other things will just get replaced by something just as interesting and just as specialized. And I think longevity is dependent on adaptability. So if you're at home and you caught the chorus with me, I'm going to sing it one more time. I hope you'll sing along. Maybe it'll do you some good tonight. Well, fly around my pretty little miss. Fly around my darling. Fly around my pretty little miss. Fly around my lady. Well, fly around my pretty little miss. Fly around my darling. Fly around my pretty little miss. Fly around my lady. Oh, thank you so much for sticking around, folks. I don't think I've told that story on a live stream before. That's been kind of a staple of the live concerts. But yeah, that's all true as far as I can tell. And Phillip Simmons, I believe he passed away in 2009. I looked him up, and they have a monument to him in form of course, a section of iron railing that I think it actually went up in Florida, of all places. I believe in Gainesville. Phillip has gone down in history as one of the greatest black craftsmen of our time, and he's been highly recognized in his craft and his field. And I just remember how kind he was, how he made me feel when I sort of spent a little bit of time in his little office there. Hey, Mike! Well, I guess I should probably give a pup date. The puppies had their third and final set of vaccinations. They won't be going back to the vet for that until next year. But Doc and June are doing great. They weighed in. Doc weighs 36 pounds. June weighs 29 and some change. And they did really well on the car ride. We didn't have nearly the fiasco that we've been having when we try to take them out. They're doing incredibly well. Patty is actually sleeping on the floor here in the studio with me tonight. She has adopted this room with me, and she seems to get calmed down, so I don't worry about her knocking stuff over. I'm hoping maybe next week I can do a little pup date. We'll do it like a commercial break, and I'll show you a video with the puppies in it. But I can't bring them in here. I'm barely wedged in here myself, and I just don't want them knocking fiddles and guitars over. Correct, Mike. Yes, Doc is named after Doc Watson, of course, and little June Carter. She was my firstborn out of the litter of 8. You can go to my Facebook page on my private, or well, I should say my civilian account, and get the whole story if you just kind of go through my timeline for the last 4 months or so. But I adopted a little stray dog off the streets, and she was pregnant. She gave me 8 puppies just a little before Thanksgiving. And so I had, of course, all the greats. I had Johnny and June, and I had Doc and Merle and Luther. Marshall, of course. I had, basically the whole Sun Records crew. Let's do some Johnny Cash. Why not? What do I do? I don't want to get dinged for Folsom Prison, so. At my door, the leaves are falling. A cold wild wind will come. Sweethearts walk by together, and I still miss someone. Oh, I never got over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere. I wonder if she's sorry for leaving what we begun. Well, there's someone for me somewhere, and I still miss someone. I go out to a party to have a little fun, but I find a darkened corner because I still miss someone. Oh, Ring of Fire. Oh, that's a fun one. We'll do that one real quick. We'll do the Johnny Cash tribute. And then we'll move on to something else here. Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring, bound by a wild desire. I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. Yeah, there is an interesting story about that. Johnny claims that he had a dream that there were horns on that song, and so he hired a mariachi band, and Jack showed up at the studio, and there was his mariachi band just hanging around. And Johnny said, well, I want them on this song, but I don't know what to have them play. And Jack said, I don't know, let's just have them do something like da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And so I have heard two different stories. I've heard Jack tell one in his documentary, and then I've read Johnny's account of it too. So there is a little disparity there, but either way, such a great song. And of course, Josh Turner did a fantastic version with the Whites singing behind him on the Opry some years ago, and they brought out a brass band to sing behind Josh Turner, and that's probably the closest we've had to Johnny since he died. Diana, welcome. Glad you got a chance to drop in this week. Let's see here. Yeah, all right. Got a few folks. Well, I had kind of teased at an old spiritual, and this is something I've been working on lately because I like the tune. I like the tune. I like the lyrics, and I've been trying to work myself up to it. If I can get it right here. Let's see. Where did I put the lyrics? I had them up earlier. There we go. I do kind of like standing. It's a Holy Ghost building. It's a Holy Ghost building. It's a Holy Ghost building for my Lord, for my Lord. If I was a liar, I'd tell you what I would do. I'd quit my lying and I'd work on a building too. I'm working on a building. I'm working on a building. I'm working on a building for my Lord, for my Lord. It's a Holy Ghost building. It's a Holy Ghost building. It's a Holy Ghost building for my Lord, for my Lord. right, teacher of love and truth. I'm working on a building, I'm working on a building. I'm working on a building for my Lord, for my Lord. It's a Holy Ghost building, it's a Holy Ghost building, it's a Holy Ghost building for my Lord, for my Lord. All righty. Something I've been working on. That's actually the first time I've performed that publicly. I guess you could call this public, but it's a little something different. It's been way too long since I played cross-tune fiddle. I don't know why I've let that skill lapse. That's something that I deeply enjoy, and that was a tuning that was taught to me by Uncle Mike Carr, and he was kind of one of the first fiddle players to come along beside me and sort of guide me along the way and teach me some tunes that I didn't otherwise seem to be able to get my head around. So this is an octave 5-string fiddle. You might notice that it's an octave below the one I was just playing. Mom, I haven't heard of his passing. I should probably reach out to Mike Oberst from the Tillers. I believe he still plays with him sometimes. They've done some albums together. I don't know what's up with Mike. Like I said, I haven't seen any signs of him on social media in a while, but he never was really computer savvy for the most part. Oh, I love playing that instrument. I'm still working up some repertoire for it. And hopefully this summer I'll feel a little bit more comfortable in my skin as a performer with that instrument, but I dearly love it. Alright, are we ready for a guitar lesson for the night? We can do that. Yeah, we can do a Civil War minor chord song. So the tuning that I'm putting this guitar in is open D tuning. So for the guitar players, and I know there's at least a few of you in there because I know some of you guys personally, this is a really beautiful tuning. I'm going to turn my mic up a little bit, so hopefully you guys can hear this a little better. This is low to high. We take our E string, we tune it down to D. We leave our A string alone. We leave our D string alone. Our G goes down to an F sharp. Then our B goes down to an A. And our high E goes down to a D. That gives us an open D chord. Now what's cool is you can do like, if you play on the 3rd fret, you can get you can get this kind of funky bluesy sound. You know, you can do some kind of Jerry Reed pull-off. Do some fun stuff like that. You can play, you know, like a lot of Earl Scruggs' material would transfer over if he did it in D tuning. But you can get some really cool voices, and of course, since it's an open chord, you can just move it up. So, you know, you got your 1, your 4, and your 5 chords. And that gives you an interesting palette harmonically. You can do some kind of Celtic sounding stuff to it. So anyway, that's your guitar lesson for the night. I started playing it more fluidly when I started having wrist problems a few years ago. Because it puts some of the notes a little closer together than standard chords. And that kind of stuck with me. I started writing some things in that tuning. And then I was playing in northern Kentucky one night. Got out of the bar about midnight. You know, you stand around waiting for the bartender to pay, and then you talk to the fans and everything. The next thing I knew, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was driving back to Indianapolis. And I was on Rural Route 1, which is down in southeast Indiana, right across the Ohio border. And that was some of the first, I guess you could call interstate or highway that I ever drove a car on. Growing up, that was a very important road for me. When I was really little, that was the road to Grandma's house. When I became a teenager, again, that was one of the first roads that I drove on. It's a curvy winding rural highway. It's got hills on each side of it. Tall pine trees. You got to be very careful and watch out for the deer because they cross through there a lot at night. But in my sort of mental state after a show, I just felt more comfortable on that road than a 4-lane highway burning back home to Indianapolis. By the time I reached Batesville, Indiana, I had written this song. I had to pull over at the rest stop and jot it all down. I've been traveling this back road since I was a kid, and I know every curve and every bend. It seems it only cares where I'm going, not where I've been. And the road goes on forever and a day. Yeah, the road goes on forever and a day. And everywhere I've never been is where I wanna be. Yeah, the road goes on forever and a day. When I was a kid, I fell in love with the sound of wood and steel. Sometimes I think it's the only friend that knows just how I feel. And the road goes on forever and a day. Yeah, the road goes on forever and a day. And everywhere I've never been is where I wanna be. Yeah, the road goes on forever and a day. Well, it's hard work making something out of nothing. You spend your whole life spinning wheels and you lose your bearings. But the best will always make it look easy. And the road goes on forever and a day. Yeah, the road goes on forever and a day. Everywhere I've never been is where I wanna be. Yeah, the road goes on forever and a day. Well, I don't do it for the glory or the fame. I just sing my songs and hope folks will remember my last name. And the road goes on forever and a day. Yeah, the road goes on forever and a day. And everywhere I've never been is where I wanna be. Yeah, the road goes on forever and a day. Okay. Now this tuning is I don't know. I mean, you can play a lot of tunes with it. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up, little Susie. You can do quite a few things. Thank you, Lisa. You know, after a week of more stuff breaking and more appliances failing around the house and things like that, it's kind of nice to just be able to get on YouTube with my mic and my camera and play a little bit of music, because right now I'm just feeling a lot. I've got appliances that are almost as old as I am, and I'm not saying that that's real old, but in appliance age, that's old. And I have to make a judgment call on how much more parts I'm going to chuck in the one. So if anybody wants to donate to the PayPal tip jar, I'm sure that'll keep me from losing all my groceries. But if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, because that does help this channel grow. It helps us go through the algorithm, all that fun stuff. You know, I've had a lot of growth this month, and I'm really thankful for that. And yeah, I want to thank everybody for showing up. It makes it a lot more fun to play to the camera if you have an audience. I have some pre-recorded stuff that's coming, and I have some archive footage from some live shows that we're still going to be publishing pretty soon here. But yeah, it's always so much more fun when I have friends in the chat to talk to. I had somebody asking for a minor key Civil War ballad. I don't know where that went. That was back up there a little bit, I think. I don't know where that went. So I don't have Super Chat yet because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. And once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I will be able to do like Super Chat and allow the donation to happen. But apparently that's a feature that they only allow popular folks to use. So a growing channel like me, I've got to kind of hang out and just keep pushing stuff out there, and hopefully something will take off. In the last 28 days, we've gained 50 subscribers, so we can only hope that we cross over that 1,000 threshold sometime this summer. Yeah. So we have 1,000 subscriber minimum, and I think I have like 10,000 hours of view time, which I'm only about 700 hours away from at this point. So I'm getting that, but I have to cross. Where are we at? Another 700 and almost 750 people have to subscribe to the channel. So I have to really hustle if I want to monetize this. So for the moment, what I can do is I have affiliate links down there in the description. If you buy anything that is in that list, of course that helps me out. But even if you just go through that list and click on the Amazon link and buy whatever it was that you were going to buy on Amazon anyway, I will get a commission from that. So I don't know, if you buy a pair of socks or something, or I don't know, a new KitchenAid mixer, I'll get a small commission. It won't cost you anything. It won't jack up your prices at all. It'll be the same price you always paid for that item on Amazon, but it will help me. So that's one way you can help the channel. Of course, if I have a video that you like, please share it and tell your friends to subscribe, and tell your friends to come next show. I think April 3rd I won't be streaming because I will be doing an in-person concert. What about Pivot Share? I don't know Pivot Share. Mike messaged me about that later. Send me a link or something. Anyway, Civil War style minor key ballad. Doc Watson would have been 98 years old this week. I think it would have been on Wednesday was his birthday. This is a song I learned off the first Doc Watson record I ever pulled out of the public library as a kid. From the bright sunny south to the war I was sent. Here the days of my boyhood I scarcely had spent. From its cool shady forests and deep flowing streams, ever fond in my memory, sweet in my dreams. Said my kind-hearted father as he took my hand, as you go in defense of our dear native land. Son, be brave, but show mercy wherever you can. Our hearts will be with you till you return again. Oh, my dear little sister, I still see her tears when we had to part in our tender years. And my dear gentle mother, so dear to my heart, it grieved me sincerely when we had to part. In my bag there's a Bible to show me the way through my 12th year on earth and to heaven someday. I will shoulder my musket, brandish my sword, in defense of this country and the word of the Lord. All right. key Civil War style ballad. That's about as close as I've got. Brian Carver, yeah, this is a very punchy banjo that you built for me. Putting these wound strings on there and really kind of digging in. And I feel like it got a lot snappier when we put this new neck on it, man. This is fantastic. Thank you again so much for... Thank you for building such a wonderful instrument, man. This is something that we'll be making a lot of music with me for a long time, I think. Ah, what should I do? What should I do? Hey, Frank. You still here? Let's see. This guitar is not in standard tuning. It'd be easier for me to step off a camera and grab a strap and grab a guitar in standard tuning. I keep them all handy just for this reason. I do like to perform like this as much as possible. I don't get to do this in loud, noisy bars too much because I just get lost in all the noise. But I like to perform with just the single microphone, and it's the purest sound, and I get a chance to really showcase what these instruments are capable of. So I hope that my internet connection is fast enough, my audio signal is pure enough that you guys get a chance to really hear what I hear in the room, because I cherish these instruments. And this is a train song here. We're down to the last 15 minutes of the show, so you know, I'm going to kind of wrap things up. And like I said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I want to thank everybody that donates and everybody that has donated in the past. It's gone a long ways. You know, we just bought a round of vaccinations for the puppies today, so I want to thank everybody for all the support the last few months. And like I said, it means a lot to you guys tune in and hang out with me on Friday nights. This introvert, socially awkward kid that doesn't know how to behave in public sometimes, I have my own little corner that I can play my music and have a good time with, and I'm glad that you guys want to come along with me. So this is 900 miles. Well, I'm rolling down the track, I got tears in my eyes, trying to read a letter from my home. If this train runs me right, I'll be home tomorrow night, 'cause it's 900 miles from my home. And I hate to hear that lonesome whistle blow. Well, I'll pawn you my watch, I'll pawn you my chain, pawn you my gold diamond ring. If this train runs me right, I'll be home tomorrow night, 'cause it's 900 miles where I'm going. And I hate to hear that lonesome whistle blow. Well, this train I ride is 1,000 coaches long. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. If this train runs me right, I'll be home tomorrow night, 'cause it's 900 miles from my home. And I hate to hear that lonesome whistle blow, 'cause it's 900 miles where I'm going. But if you say so, I railroad no more. Sidetrack my train and come home. If this train runs me right, I'll be home tomorrow night, 'cause it's 900 miles from my home. And I hate to hear that lonesome whistle blow. If this train runs me right, I'll be home tomorrow night, 'cause it's 900 miles where I'm going. And I hear that lonesome whistle blow. Oh, Patty's awake now. I woke the dog. What do you know? Let's see here. Yeah. All right. Cool. Everybody's been in the chat there. There's a lot to read through. I will definitely have to try to read all this in the archives. Yeah, I will definitely have to do that. Cool. So that guitar, I'll bring it back up here. I got this guitar in 2008. This one it's a Martin Herringbone D28 of somewhat questionable heritage. There's parts on it that seem to be like pre-World War II, and other stuff that maybe more like 50s or 60s. And then somebody by the name of Bill Crabtree was inside of it at some point. I think it's 1992. There's penciled in the back, Bill Crabtree, 1992. It's been re-necked. It's been oversprayed. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's technically wrong with it that destroyed the collector's value on it. And I got this guitar for much cheaper than what I would pay even for a brand new equivalent from Martin today. It's irreplaceable to me, and I've gotten a lot of work as a guitarist because I own this. I've made records for people because they knew they could get this on your record. It just has a really pure sound. It's a great recording guitar. Oh, what the heck. It was Doc Watson's birthday. Let's do another Doc Watson tune. Why not? Let it rain, let it pour, let it rain a whole lot more, 'cause I've got those deep river blues. She's a good old pal. She looks like a waterfowl when I've got those deep river blues. Muscle Shoals, the times are better there, I'm told, if you got those deep river blues. So give me back my old boat, I'm gonna sail her if she'll float, 'cause I've got those deep river blues. Well, there ain't no one to cry for me, all the fish go on the spree when I've got those deep river blues. Oh, the late great Doc Watson. I don't know if there's a flat pick guitar player out there that's had more influence on me than Doc, except maybe Norman Blake, maybe. I like Doc and I like Norman a lot, and both of them have made music that just had a profoundly deep impact on me. And, Norman's getting up there in years. He doesn't perform out or tour anymore. I hope he is safe and comfortable wherever he is tonight. But again, I want to thank everybody for dropping in. If you stuck with me this long, I do appreciate it. You know, there's analytics that show most folks drop out after the first 15 minutes, and I'm trying to figure out how to make the show more interesting and not drag out and get boring in the middle somewhere. So but these are all challenges that you face when you don't have people in the room with you, and trying to not repeat myself too much. This fall marks 20 years of me playing fiddle. I feel like I'm finally learning first position. I picked my first fiddle off the back of a tailgate at a flea market. It was the day after 9/11. And I miss the America that we had in those days. I miss the unity. I miss the people that stood up for freedom, unabashed and unashamed. I miss the way people bought every American flag and hung it from every surface. I miss the times when we vowed we'd never forget the people who died in 9/11. Right now, I barely recognize my own country in so many ways. And just like music and craftsmanship, I feel like kindness never is going to go out of style. At least I sure hope so. I feel like love is never going to be for naught. I want to believe that there are still good people out there who care for one another. Well, that's the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everybody who hits the like and subscribe buttons, who hits a share. I want to thank everybody who's sent in donations by PayPal to help me out and keep the lights going on around here. God bless everybody that looks like you. And you, of course. We'll see you next week. See you next week. Good night, everybody.